Wow, I missed a lot of information. I was speaking of information. Let me start with this information I was speaking of: diet and behavior. In 10 days, in a good book, as you can see, you can know all dreams, visions. There are guarantees in life. That's what I was saying. So I'm just speaking over this again, y'all, for this YouTube thing that I'm going as well. I didn't add that part to it. So if I'm repeating myself, that's because I forgot to turn the YouTube thing on and to record that as well. So yeah, diet and behavior, the coldest you can become. You can't get no deeper than this in the good book. You can do yoga, chakras, all of this. You can do all of that. But on the surface, from the start, the activation, all of that has to be dealt with in this space and time. Now, the air, earth, fire, gas, and water, the breath that you breathe in is even a higher level than that. It is just the fact, let there be light. The breath brought the green plants, turned the lights on of the green plants, of the life force energy. Damn. Are you laughing at that? I'm just trying to look at the momentum, the equation that comes about when these things are given to us. Okay, so I just want to deal with what's happening right now. The environmental issues are so real right now. To ignore them would be to ignore your spiritual self. You forget going to church because it won't be a church. And if you want to go to church, go to the people are the church. And when you gather in numbers, you're in church, yes. So we have to be more ecologically advanced people. Today's society, today's humans don't seem to, their responsibility to that is lost because people before us, we didn't have that much garbage, trash. They were making packaging things, all that shit. They didn't have that responsibility. Doesn't matter if manufacturing was good enough or not, they didn't do that. They didn't trash the environment. They did, it wasn't as much as it is today. There's too much packaging, garbage that people aren't paying any attention to. It's trash, environmental issues. Okay? So, we have to be more responsible in some kind of way. We just have to be. And so, what is our role today? Not some fucking business. That's not it. It really is not. Because we know when they get busy, it's what they do, how they act, the things that go on. It really doesn't matter what kind of, you can be in the chemical business. But you're making a lot of money, but you're destroying the planet because you're putting chemicals onto the water every day, all day. I know some people have cleaning companies and they apply chemicals to the environment all day, every day. And that's what I'm talking about. That is not positive in any kind of way. It's not gonna be long. What if you all the water fucked up and you still going, that's your job, that's your business, it's your corporation, you got all these chemicals, clean this building. You see, this is what I'm talking about. And we still have to be responsible to this as human beings. To say that we're not, that's been going on all along, so what do you want me to do? I'm gonna lose all this and that. You have to take a loss or lose a life. Which loss do you aspire to? So I'm trying to get to where I wanted to be on this. Okay, diet and behavior. All this is related to diet and behavior, totally. After 10 days, that contest, again, somebody tell me herbs are for the healing of the nation. 10 days, show me all the stories. Let there be light, and the light came on because the green plants came onto the environment. And then this guy named Jesus healed all the people with just herbs, could, do all kinds of steal the waters and all, because the water is an environmental issue as well. When you're able to deal with heal with plants and all that, then the water has memory, and so the water brings its knowledge. What the rock is, the rock has knowledge and all of that. Everything that we are able to manipulate how this thing works. So how this thing works is being responsible and responsive to the reality of it all, not just to a certain amount of things, but being responsive to what it is that you really have repeated and said. Now there are some things you don't know, you're not responsible for that, okay, fine. But for these things, we've said these things over and over again. I got to have me some meat. Herbs are for the healing of the nation, the Daniel story. All these things we're talking about, diet and behavior, mental issues right now, healing herbs and pharmaceutical industry, drugs in your body, what they do to the body, where they come from. All that, we've heard this over and over again, so this ain't nothing new. So we're not gonna play that game. This is the real deal. So these things have been proven to us. So when you hear something and you challenge it and it comes to fruition worldwide on a high scale, whatever it may be, hell, the starving Russian Jews that they showed was reading the Bible. So they know a diet, a proper diet, a kosher diet is the best thing going. These are the ley lines that the energetic forces of this universe has for us. We burn bridges to communicate on a higher level. So that's where we are with this thing right here. That's where I want to be with this diet and behavior. You have to expand that. In behavior, we've seen people who enslaved others in this country, so they want to do something worse than enslaving people. Who are these people that you want to do something worse than enslaving, worse than chemtrails, worse than bombing World War I, World War II, worse than the Civil War, worse than Jim Crow, worse than private prison industry right now, worse than Rebuild America, all the money is gone, worse than the 2 black people that went out in space and they blew them up, most intelligent people on the planet, went out in space and NASA blew them, the 2 that went out there, they blew up those 2 back to back. Incredible. So you want to try to do worse than this, what you've already done? And so these are the people who coordinate these efforts in a very subtle and yet very bold way to seem as if, oh, we need help, we need this, the world is anti-Semitic, and yet look at what we do in Congress, the laws, the things that start war, the monies for municipal bond industry, for the private prison industries, to control the voting. Who is running? Who is running for the presidency? Nothing but those people. Look at the people's names. Look what the lobby is. Under that lobby, everyone there is at this time. It's under the Israeli lobby. Under one umbrella. All of them that's running for the presidency right now. So they run these horrible diseases and all this to cover, to distract people in these issues. At this time, so recognizing it is not difficult. Recognizing it is not difficult. It's just the degree of difficulty to accept it and to make the changes that need to be made while it's going on. That's going to be the issue. So, but yeah, they want to do worse than all these things already by eliminating EPA, taking, I mean, who are these people? Why do you want to do worse than what you've already done? See, but we can do all these things here. People say you can do all things in the name of Jesus. No, you can do all these things because in the name of what you can do from diet and behavior. That's one of the starting process. You can start with that, eating right, and then you can go to pray. You can pray too. You can meditate. You can do what? You can yoga. You can do all this shit. But this is one of the top things to add to that, because we do this all day, every day. Ain't very many people that's gonna walk around and not eat or not drink something green every day, all day. And to learn what it is. So quickly, after 10 days, all these things, what they're doing, the wars, the decisions, the lies, you will know how to come up with laws to defeat these things. Your words will administer righteously the laws that govern people on planet Earth. When you come to, because look at these words, look what these words say. They're so spectacular, people can't even accept it. And this is so spectacular that it heals, it makes the lightning bug turn its light on. It makes the lightning bug, which sits on 3 different grasses, which the spaceman made a battery of. The lightning bugs, we start with that. Start with the earthworm with each soil and sits it out and turns earthworm castings. You want to shit on me? Okay, well shit on me. I can take that shit and turn it into fertile fuel and give it right back to you in another form and teach you a lesson. If that's what you want to do, so if that's what they're trying to do, is shit on us with this culture,